Well, aren't you glad that?
Good. Too bad.
Pretty good quality.
Good. Welcome to the September 5th conservation meeting. Present, we have Harry Menzikian, member, Michael Croto, member, Tom Levesque, vice chairman, Joel McKibben, chairman, and Matt Lepore, affectionately known as the kid, member. First on is Tucker McCarthy from Keach Nordstrom Associates for a wetland crossing at 124 Hillcrest subdivision. That will be in front of the planning board.
Ready to get started?
Yes.
All right. Good evening, everyone. Tucker McCarthy. I'm an engineer with Keach Nordstrom Associates. Here with me this evening is John Noiseworthy. He is the executor of the state. And Rick Charbonneau is here this evening with us as well. So the project that we're here in front of you this evening is located at 124 Hillcrest Road. There's actually an existing house here in the corner of the lot. It is map 15, lot 14. It does have frontage on Hillcrest as well as Route 3A, Charles Bancroft Highway. It reaches down here. It's a kind of a long, skinny lot. Total is about 30 acres on the whole lot. There are two areas of wetlands on this site, kind of dissecting in the middle. Here is a large wetland complex. And there's also it's a sort of a defined stream. I believe that if any folks were at the site walk, that is what we looked at. So what we are proposing here is a 16 lot subdivision. 15 lots will be off of the new driveway off of Hillcrest, one of those being the existing house. And then the 16th lot would be with frontage on Route 3A.
New street off of Hillcrest.
Yes, correct. Yep, with a cul-de-sac at the end.
Okay.
So when we had met at the site walk, our original design actually included. So what we had looked at originally was, and I believe that's what was presented to the commission at the site walk, is that we had hoped to do a big box culvert to actually span that entire crossing. And then when we kind of looked at the value of that wetland and kind of what was going on out there, and did some value engineering and looked at the cost, we realized that just was going to be a little bit cost prohibitive to do that. So we sort of did a redesign a little bit. Part of that redesign actually helps reduce buffer impacts a bit, just because we're not doing as much grading to fill around that wetland. So what we are looking to do now is if you look at this drawing, there's a blue line, which I should have labeled. We actually had our wetland scientists go out there and locate. There's a little bit of a defined stream channel when there is flow that flows through there. That is what that blue line is. So what we're proposing to do now is we do have a small area of permanent wetland impact. However, we are going to put an open box 5-foot wide culvert that would just get placed down on either side of that stream. The stream would remain completely undisturbed. It would remain natural. We wouldn't do anything to change the material, to touch that, to disturb that. Basically what they do is they do a little bit of excavation to set some footings, and then they just place the box culvert right on top of those footings. On either end, they would have some type of a wall, and then it would just be filled in on top of it. So
How much will the grade come up from what it is now? Not at the stream bed, but on the sides. Do you know yet?
Yeah, so it's fairly steep, as you remember from that site walk.
Going down to the stream it was, but I mean, how much fill will be up over for the roadway?
So one of the challenges I had was placing that box cover and being able to get. I have to get a water line over that. So I needed I need cover over my water line and I needed a little bit of space between the box culvert. See if I can find my plan here. I believe that it's from the bottom of the stream channel to the top of my road over that crossing is about 8 feet.
Yeah, but the channel is much lower than each side.
Oh, you're saying what is the size of the box culvert?
No, on this, like over here on the side.
Yep.
How much fill it wouldn't be 8 feet from this ground here.
No, there's actually, there's very, very little fill at all needed on either side of these. So my road, we have to have a shoulder, and then it would come down on either side, and it would actually tie into the wall that would be at the culvert opening on either side.
Okay.
So this actually classifies for an expedited permit because we are less than 50 feet. And I believe this is a tier 1 crossing. So it's a lower valued crossing. That's basically just based on the watershed area getting to this. So if you can keep it below 50, I think it's still a minimum permit if you are over 50, but we were able to keep it 49 feet of length. So the road would just, pitch off on either side. There'd be curbing, a little bit of a shoulder, and then it would drop down and would tie into the top of the head wall, which would just drop straight down.
So flip your map over if you would.
Yep.
Where does this stream flows north and south?
It does. It comes down from here and then flows through our site. Yep.
Then where does it go? Do you know? Does it go to 3A?
I don't know, actually.
Well,
I don't think that's the one that goes
the
to McCarthy's
sidewalk,
pond.
I
There's an
thought
actual-
I heard it eventually ends up in McQuestion's.
I don't think that's the one that goes
No,
to the
there's
pond.
a
There's
brook,
none.
there's an actual brook that flows into
Yeah.
there, but that probably, I'm not familiar exactly, but it probably flows to that brook,
The wetlands in the back,
right?
the backside of the cul-de-sac is,
You're down
Yeah,
to the brook
yeah.
and down to the brook.
See, my concern on that flow was how close is it to Grassy Pond?
Oh, my.
Does it
Oh,
flow
wait.
at the
It's a
Grassy?
mile
Like
away.
a half a
That's
mile
half
away.
to a
Okay.
mile away. It's
Yeah.
another world.
And we did do, we have a 5-foot box culvert. I think it would be 3 feet high. And there's a program I'm sure you've heard of called Stream Stats, and we can figure out a flow. So in terms of, any type of siltation or nothing like that would be changing on this. And that's why we're leaving it natural. As you can see here, the reason for our buffer impacts is that we have 2 drainage ponds. This is actually kind of just picking up offsite area from the houses on that side of the road. And then this here is treating the first portion of the road. So it goes through, and this is all designed per state standards. This is an infiltration basin, and in larger storm events, it would overtop. But I don't believe it does that until a 100-year storm event.
Is that on somebody's lot?
It is.
What kind of curbing are you using on the road?
Good question. I believe the town requires granite. No?
No.
asphalt.
Yeah, it's asphalt. Okay. Yeah. Okay, you're right. It's concrete.
Cape
Yeah,
Cod
Cape Cod
berm.
berm. Yep. That's the town
Yeah, the
standard.
road
Yep.
agent doesn't like granite.
Doesn't like-
I don't like granite,
I like granite.
habitat reasons. Any other questions?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
All right. On the site map, now I got a little confused.
The
Yeah.
color one? Yep.
No.
No, the one you had.
Yeah,
Oh,
What
sure,
that
sure. Yep.
Okay. The 16 house lots, show me again on that map where they're going to be.
Yep, sure. So
I know there's the house up in there.
Yep.
It's already there.
124, right,
Okay.
That counts as one.
right.
Right.
And that road goes parallel to Westview Road. So,
In parallel to
Pardon?
Hillcrest, in
you
parallel
know,
to Hillcrest Road.
West Road, well, not parallel to Hillcrest goes that way,
But it's down between.
right.
Yeah.
But Westview's this way.
Yeah.
Westview's
But
right
I
here.
thought they were mentioning another lot
One
that
lot.
wasn't.
So
3A.
this
Okay,
is a big wetland here.
Yeah.
So this is actually our 16th lot. So there's one is the existing, and
All
then
right.
there's
That
another.
16th lot down at the bottom, is that where the open field is now?
It is a field. Yeah.
That's on 3A.
That's on
It wouldn't
3A.
connect to the road.
And that's going to be part of this development?
It is.
Subdivision, part of the
Yep.
subdivision.
Okay.
Yep.
I
But
quite
they-
honestly, when we did the site walk, I'll be honest with you, there was no mention of that lot.
Because there's no wetland impact on that lot on 3A.
No, it had nothing to do with the wet
Well, that's
impact.
what, but when you went out there, you were going for the Conservation Commission, and that's what we're concerned with, wetland impact. For the planning board to be concerned with the lot on 3A, and they have to go to the zoning board for that lot on 3A because it doesn't have enough frontage.
Okay, because I was in the impression that the last lot would be at the end of the cul-de-sac because of,
So it doesn't connect. So this is the end of the road
Right,
here,
right.
and then there's this lot here,
Right.
and this big wetland, and then so this would just be a freestanding lot that they would just build a driveway off of 3A and build a house here, and they wouldn't be anywhere near any of the buffers or any wetlands.
and
or-
that's not considered wetlands down there?
No, there's a big wetland in between that they're not touching.
Right. So that the house would be, in up close to the street. We
Okay.
certainly wouldn't be anywhere
No.
or be
How-
allowed to
How
be
much
with.
acreage is on that 3A lot?
Well, right now we actually kept the whole balance. So it is 2.865 acres.
Okay.
Way over there.
So the balance of the lot
Right,
goes,
that can't be right.
no, that
Still
can't
more
be
than
right.
that, yeah.
No.
Yeah, so it's
15
11 and
acres.
a half acres. I'm sorry. Yeah.
50, 10
Yeah.
to 15.
We had kept this lot large so that you could keep 10 acres in current use.
Does that answer your question?
No.
Well,
So-
I apologize that he didn't mention that part of the problem
Now,
probably is
the
that our
planning board
wetland
was
scientist.
with me at the walkthrough, okay?
Yeah.
And that lot was never mentioned at
Well,
all.
the planning board will
The
know
planning board will
that.
address that when the time comes. It's up to you to go to that planning board meeting. if you
The
have a concern.
17th, the plan will be accepted. If, they were supposed to be on Tuesday nights, but it got continued to the 17th. And everything's been sent to the planning board. They get all.
No, I understand
all
that. But that down to that bottom of the hill, every time it rains, it looks like that thing fills up.
No, you're not in the right place. You're not,
It doesn't. It doesn't fill it.
you're thinking of someplace else, I think.
No,
Yeah, you are. There's no,
You are. You're
that's
thinking of-
practically next to my house, not quite, but it's not a problem.
Isn't one of the Colby houses next,
Well, yeah.
Marion Colby's-
Yeah.
You're thinking about where
the Roses?
Renee
Right.
just built this house, but
Yeah.
Right.
that wasn't,
Next to Joe Warren's old house.
Yeah, next, yeah.
that's not here. This
okay,
that
now,
doesn't fill up with
Fine.
water.
Yeah, I think there's
It's damp. Same
a
as mine.
shed here, and there's actually there's houses on either side here.
It's not wetland.
No. Because you did soils, you'll have to show soils on that lot, on the 3A lot.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
This lot actually, it's just the scale of it.
Yeah.
This is a fairly good amount of dry area here. This is the former railroad,
Trolley.
which is actually just shown as
now, where's the electric company doing there? Right through there, right?
No,
No?
north of that subdivision.
Eversource on the power line?
believe it or
Going
not.
down the trolley car track from Hillcrest, which you could end up on here. But this is between Hillcrest and this piece of property is where the power line goes.
14. Let's see. Okay, so. Okay, 15, 14, and I don't have the ownership on these two. There's a house on either side of where this comes through, and it's just a field.
Well, it's Betty's Bond, right?
Betty's Pond.
Right.
And then Carrie's.
Carrie's, yeah.
Yeah, that
Right,
was,
Carrie's
yeah,
house.
Carrie's house.
Yeah, the little house that she rents.
The little white house, I don't know if you remember, where the person had doggy daycare.
For a couple of weeks, a couple months.
Right across from Ross Calloway's, isn't it?
Mhm.
I have another quick question.
Yep.
When we're in the site walk, something was mentioned about the fish and game, people coming down, looking at the property.
Yep.
Did we ever know what the end result of that was?
Sure. Yeah. So when we had done our our NHB check, I believe that the New England cottontail came up, and Fish and Game came out to the site and met Josh, our wetland scientist, and they actually signed off and said that there was no concerns of this project and that there was no habitats that would be disturbed. So I don't know if I believe I have documentation on that. I definitely will, certainly can provide it if not, but.
No, I was just more
Yeah.
curious because the area didn't look like it would be suitable for
Yeah.
cottontails.
It'd
Yep.
be more interesting to find hognose snake out under that power line.
Right.
I've
Hopefully,
never seen one anywhere lately.
I have.
And they say there was one.
Well,
Some around that area.
the problem with the New England cottontail and the eastern cottontail, and I was talking to him the other, you can't tell the difference. I mean, you have to be almost study it to death because they're so similar.
Have you even seen a rabbit all the time you were?
Yeah,
I
actually,
I
yeah.
picked up a rabbit off 3A this winter, and the fishing game came and got it, but he had the wrong color on his forehead. He was just a regular
Expensive in
rabbit.
Menasha and Hudson right now. There's more rabbits than they've seen in decades.
Huh.
Yeah. People,
It's funny, I just saw a rabbit by the bridge.
Yeah.
Of all places.
yeah, mhm, yeah.
Yeah, we were doing road cleanup and I saw my first rabbit go.
I haven't seen hognose snake in a while, but they're around.
Okay, what do we got?
Okay, so any other questions on
Yeah,
this? Go ahead.
sorry. All right, on this, across the stream, that was to build so you can use that for construction purposes
The
too?
road across.
This is, yeah, that's to get the road across. And then
Okay.
this is just some stormwater features that we have.
Okay. Because I thought there might be there was something mentioned maybe coming in below the stream from 3A instead of going across the bridge.
No, you couldn't come in-
You couldn't come in.
3A,
You're
'cause that's where the
across
big
whole
wetland
swamp.
is.
That's what it is.
The big wetland is, if you came in from 3A, there's this huge wetland that you'd never get permitted to cross.
That'd be much worse.
Yeah.
Okay, so,
When I went out there, I went out with Tucker, I think it was June maybe. And
Yep.
I wouldn't call it a high value area.
Yeah.
Did you get out there at all?
I wasn't able to, unfortunately.
Any more questions?
I do have a quick question.
Yeah.
What did you say the height was from the road down to the where the water body was?
I think it's about 8 feet.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I guess my concern is that in the event that culvert ever gets blocked,
It's not a culvert.
or not a culvert, what am I saying?
It's an open box.
Open
culvert,
box
yeah.
culvert. So it's kind of like, is that similar to what's on 3A by Parker Park?
No, that's a
Similar.
huge,
That's a huge culvert.
that's,
no, it's a big.
so
culvert.
is this concrete? Or what?
It will, and it'll be 3 feet high by 5 feet wide.
Mhm.
I don't know that it'd be tough for it to get blocked. And there's not a lot of water that goes down through there. I see what your concern is, but it would kind of be on the association to kind of keep an eye on that,
there's gonna be
or
an
on the town
association?
actually.
There's gonna be an
No, sorry,
association?
it's going to be on town-owned road. Yeah.
For that to have a plug, you'd have to have enough water for beavers to build a dam.
Yeah, and
Right.
you don't have
Okay.
it.
And I'm just asking because I wasn't on the site walk, so
Yeah.
I'm not too familiar with that
Well-
water body. But just from my time on the highway department, seeing the culverts over at Brickyard and
Yeah,
Pilgrim.
it's not like,
That's-
it's,
okay.
yeah,
It's
not
not
like.
like
a
I guess I wasn't sure
culvert
what
that
we
we
were
get.
talking about with the.
It's good that it's
When we
open bottom.
broke the culvert on
Now,
the backyard,
Yeah.
so, I
The
mean, that's-
stream- I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
Right.
There's no water here, so you never.
Yeah.
I mean,
Okay.
there's a limited amount of water, so you
Yeah.
never see beavers.
Yeah.
The stream has a pretty steep banking, if I remember correctly, right?
Right.
And I thought I saw in the streams some dead material, but you said this is going to be a 3 foot by
What do you mean dead
5 foot.
material?
Branches
Um,
and trees.
Oh,
trees, branches.
yeah.
I know there wasn't a lot of water in there when we went through,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
it'd been raining April, May, and June. So
Yeah, so they'll clear a little bit out. Basically, they set some footings down.
Mhm.
I'm sure they'll put some gravel down or something, set those on it, and then the concrete structure is open on the bottom, so they just set it right down on top of it. And
Mhm.
I think they probably pin it into the footings and
is actually, when you set the footing, there's a channel in the footing for the culvert to sit in, or the blocks to sit on.
It's kind of notched out.
And then,
Yeah.
and then you pour cement
It's a
on both
keyway.
sides.
Mhm.
Can't go
So how big is the opening then?
3 by 5.
Underneath.
3 by 5.
Yeah.
3 feet high,
Yeah,
5 feet wide.
It's not gonna get painted.
Yeah. And we actually, the typical is a 3x4, but just the way that the stream channel kind of winds, it was a little tight. So I made it a 5 foot so that it would maintain it.
Yeah, the head walls will look similar to what's up on Brown Avenue across from Pine Island Plaza, that they used to be block, and then they put it's a ready rock wall.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
It'll look similar to that.
Okay, I have no other question. Anybody else?
No.
So are we in agreement that we can send a letter to ZBA supporting this project?
I think so. I'll make a motion.
Making a motion to support the,
Mhm.
okay, anybody second it?
I'll second it.
All those, any more discussion? All those in favor of a letter supporting this to the ZBA?
Yes.
You have to raise your hand for the camera.
The camera can't hear me.
Raise your- Oh, you know,
Actually,
Michael's
are you
abstaining.
abstaining?
I'm
I'm going to be abstaining.
I'm going to change to an abstain as well.
Okay, so it's 302. So we will send a letter off. You're going next Wednesday?
Yes.
ZBA?
Yep. The 11th. Yep.
9/11.
Awesome. Thank you very much for your time.
You're welcome.
Appreciate it.
Take care.
Have a good night.
I have, by the way, I have a list of, as I was cleaning, historic street names, if you want me to copy that to you.
I'll look at it because I still haven't picked one
Yeah,
yet.
and the selectmen don't like people's names, but this was just something that's been laying around for years, so it might be dated, but take a look at it.
It's still historical.
do have street
There are-
that.
There are people's street names in Litchfield.
Yeah, but
I
they
know.
don't like
They
it
don't like
anymore.
to do it
though. That
anymore.
was- Yeah, they used to get stolen all the
It's a
time.
grand
That's-
holiday.
They do make street signs that lock on.
Oh, yeah, they-
The reason I knew this is because we did a project in Rochester and they wanted all of the signs.
Lockable.
They have these special bolts that you
Yeah.
can take off.
Okay.
Mhm.
But I don't
John,
know.
what do you think? This is kind of a name. See, I'm trying to, I gave it some more thought. My mother's maiden name is Griffin, her last name. No,
We
it's
get
not a
Griffin.
first name.
We had a Griffin. We had Griffin.
I haven't done any research if there's a Griffin estate or a Griffin
I
farm.
think we have Griffin,
There's a Griffin.
We had a Griffin Road somewhere in
Yeah,
town.
Griffin Lane?
Yeah.
Okay. I will look into that. Yeah.
Yeah.
But between me and my brother, we'll come up with,
Okay.
but if you have that list, I'll be.
Yeah, I'll scan it to you.
I'll be more than happy to look at it.
okay,
Because I actually thought about looking at it on the internet as popular, developing sites. And every
Yeah.
time I go by one, I try and catch a piece of something that
Yeah.
might fit. And I
yeah,
want it to fit the town.
right.
Like I've even come up with something, what's there, there's a lot of, the tree that's out there, there's a lot of hemlock out there.
We have a hemlock
have a
and
hemlock.
juniper.
See, you guys are killing me. So, like,
No,
I
you're
want-
Johnny, you're Johnny come lately.
I want,
No pun intended.
I want it to fit
Right,
the area.
yeah.
And of course,
Right.
meet-
and the selectmen are the ones, I think, that
Yeah.
end up approving, and they pass it by the fire department, just because it's gotta be something that's legible at 2:00 in the morning,
Should
so
see
you get a
some of
fire
them.
call.
Some of
I
them still
think,
have.
I think you still have my email. If you
Yeah, I do.
scan it and send it to me.
Okay, very good, I will.
Tom, how's Sue doing?
Fair. Yeah. Yeah.
I haven't seen her in quite a while.
Yeah,
but-
yeah. Yeah. She's got a lot of problems.
Oh, does she?
Neuropathy and so on.
Oh, no,
eyesight.
oh, I didn't know that.
Getting old.
That neuropathy's bad. I knew somebody that had that.
Both legs and hands.
I'm sorry to hear that. How long she had that for?
Several. I don't know how many years, but
I know it gets worse.
Yeah,
so
exactly,
You know
that's
where the
right, yeah.
actual draw is,
Mhm,
where,
yeah.
where it starts, but
yeah. It's not a good thing.
no, no, it's not.
Yeah.
I'll send you those names.
Take care.
Thanks for coming in.
Yeah.
Bye, Tom.
Okay, next is the tree at Morse Falls. Diane Plansky sent me a video, and I went down a couple times to look at it. The
Yeah.
road agent is going to take care of it.
Okay.
the tree.
Yes.
Yes, they are. It
Okay.
won't be high on their priority list, but as soon as, when they can
First
get
time,
to it
when
before
it's
winter,
done. Mhm.
they will get down there. I took a couple of them down. Josh and Jake, the assistant, and they said they could take care of it. And Kevin Brown is the acting road agent. They said they'll take care of it.
Good.
That is an impressive tree, though.
I wish I could get some of that oak out of there.
Yeah, that is like, I went down with Diane to look at it and I was like, when I actually saw it, I was like, that's a
Now,
lot
the
bigger than it
piece
looks on
that's-
camera.
The piece that's standing is fine. That's not going anywhere.
Right.
The piece that's down isn't going anywhere either, but it just needs to be, just they're gonna unblock the trail.
Mhm.
Take chunks out to unblock the trail, 2 trails that's covering. Then you want to talk about the Morris Falls cleanup debris. Matt did a job down there.
Yep. So after our last meeting, I think it was I can't remember, it was a Saturday. I went down there and I found a syringe with a brown substance in it, along with a lot of glass that had surfaced up down there. So I made the decision to basically close off that area of Morris Falls because I just, having seen it, having gone down with the fire department to go clean up that stuff, and people were down there barefoot. Like we were down there, I decided the appropriate thing to do would be to kind of like just block off the trails that access that spot and just get to work, try and clean up as much as possible. I spent 2 weeks, I'm pretty sure it was to the day, just going down there every opportunity I could and cleaning it out. I had buckets full of glass and
Which we still have.
yeah, I got to get rid of that.
Got to ask Dave.
And dirt with a lot of fine glass particles in it, and so I reopened it. But an issue I kept having is that whenever I was going down there to clean up, there would be people down there. And there's like, I put signs in the middle of the trail that said, keep out. And that wasn't doing the trick. So, I talked to the people. I said, this is why it's closed. You're down here at your own risk. I didn't know really what else to say, but it was kind of disheartening to see that people were kind of disobeying the sign. It's like, it's for your safety is the reason why that's up. So, but
Yeah.
Signs are made for being disobeyed.
yeah, I know,
The sign is
but
down now, so and it's
Yeah.
cleaned up.
yeah, it's all over now, but just wanted to,
Oh, and you have to give another kudos to the road agent, because we were walking back up that path from the beach area.
Mhm.
There was a piece of rebar from the old, when the scouts did a water thing, and a piece of rebar sticking out this much. We were gonna put a rock on it just so somebody wouldn't trip on it, but he yanked it out. He finally wiggled it and got it out of there, so that was good to get that, because somebody was gonna trip on that for sure. But it looks real good now, and the path is nicely worn around on the riverside, and
Mhm.
the signs are all, the Eagle Scout signs are all still there, so it looks real good.
I noticed the gate's been fixed? hasn't
Yeah,
it?
Gate's
they
been
put-
fixed.
Put the,
They put the
yeah,
ground
that's
up.
good.
Looks very
It
nice.
wasn't locked, but we managed to get the lock. We're gonna replace that rusty chain, and Recreation has some better chain, and the lock will work. And then we have to fix the north end lock. And they did granite post up the north end too, north end gate. It looks real good.
So I'm gonna suspect that, because the part on 3A where it says closed after dusk, right? That these people going in through St. Francis.
Well, we don't know. We don't know if it was just something that floated down, if they're going in there. The police are making a little bit more of a presence there. I saw them there the other night.
In the St. Francis area.
it is
Both areas.
it is a good point that a lot of people who I notice who access that side of the property do go in through St. Francis because they think it's St. Francis property. And so that's the reason why people go down. It's a lot quicker of a walk to go from the parking lot down to that spot than it is to come from 3A.
Yeah.
But I did speak with both the principal at St. Francis and the priest there, and they're both very kind, and they were willing to let us, put some signage up at the kiosks.
And I know you had a sign, you put a conservation sign right at where we go onto our property from St. Francis. That was good.
Correct. Yeah. So now people can understand that that's town property. It's not the church's.
So that's probably where most of the,
We don't know.
Yeah,
We
it's
don't- we don't know.
we can't really
well,
determine.
John, it stands to reason they're not gonna be during the day down off of 3A. Number one. Number two, they can't be there at night because the patrol cars go by. I mean, that's obvious.
Well,
So the only other conclusion is they're going on to St. Francis.
Yeah, because you can't see that from.
And
the
you
road.
can't see that from there. And you yourself had said that you've gone down there and seen, we found evidence of fire and,
yeah, there are definitely people who are still having fires down there. But yeah, we can't really determine where they're coming from. But it is a fair point that we should at least put signs up at that access because we don't have a dawn to dusk sign at that end, so somebody could walk in there have no idea that that that's,
that's a good
well, it's,
point, yeah.
so it just to get rid of any doubt, just to make sure that we're thorough, we should also put signage up at that
Yeah.
entrance because it's another access.
Can
point.
the police go on St. Francis property
They can
just
go
to,
anywhere
Of course,
they
they can
want.
anywhere they want.
Yeah.
Yeah.
just check?
Well, they should be down there patrolling anyhow.
But
In reality, I mean, it's a business place. It should
they
be
are
checked.
aware of the situation, so we can definitely bring that up to them. I believe John already said that they know they're going to increase patrols over there.
Oh, I did ask the road agent about the sinkhole too, and they said they probably can do something about that because they can come in from the St. Francis side with a truck. Sinkhole's not looking I mean, it still looks the way it did. It hasn't gotten any bigger. So they might be able to do something with that also. Anything else on Morris Falls?
I think that's it.
When we were down there with the road agent, we saw an eagle fly from across the river, flew south, so that was pretty cool. Sophomore projects, I wasn't here last month, but you met, why don't you just tell me, what you met with Denise?
Well, I met with I got an email. For me, that's progress in the
Wow.
20th century.
They're doing really good.
Wow.
I'm going crazy with the computer. Anyway, so this Dennis Sullivan was emailing me, and we made a time to go over and look at the kiosk. And apparently Mrs. Sullivan showed up, which kind of confused me a little bit. But
Which kiosk
well, the Parker Place one, because that's the one that's
needs
in worse
work?
shape.
Yeah,
And I I explained to him what my thoughts were on it, and it was, I'm new to this project thing. We going, I hate to say this, but when Tom and I went to high school in Joan, there was no such
Hey,
thing.
John,
don't add me into that.
There's no such thing as projects, but that's another story.
she was
for
right
another
behind
time.
us.
But, so I don't know what they can spend or what their limitations were. So I defined it as repair or replace the kiosk. Okay?
Now, that's an interesting question, because if they have to, like that plexiglass will need to be fixed up. Do we buy the materials and they do the work?
I see, that's what I was confused about. That's why I said repair or replace. I mean, if I had my brothers, I like to see the damn thing replaced completely.
Well,
but
the wood's in pretty good shape,
It appears that the doors, from what I could see in the sides, appear to be in good shape. I couldn't, the Hornets moved in again, so I
Yeah.
wasn't about to go
Yeah.
too close again. So anyway, I explained to him, the doors were messed up, and there's probably one piece of plexiglass that probably needs to be replaced.
Right.
And I said, the purpose of doing this is so that we can post information, both here and at Morse, and I brought up Morse Falls, for the public to enjoy and read and get all kinds of information.
Right.
And so that's the way I left it. Well, no, I actually said to them, talking to all three of them, I said, and again, because I didn't know, I asked for some sort of plan before they got started. What I said is, if you want to get started doing this, feel free. But you need to give me some sort of plan.
Right, that's a good idea.
And tonight, what I was asking, because I didn't know, is if they gave me the plan, is that acceptable, or should they bring it to the Conservation
As far as
Commission?
I'm concerned, we appointed you to be the point man, so whatever you accept, we accept. And I think any expenses, while I'm talking,
Well,
any expenses incurred would be our
Yeah,
expenses, not theirs.
yeah,
These are just kids
Right.
doing a school project. We would pay any expenses.
Right.
that-
okay, now see, I didn't know that. I really didn't
I mean, no,
know.
it's not like an Eagle Scout. When the Eagle Scouts have done these various projects in town, part of their project is they raise the money.
Money, yeah, no, I know.
So this case, they're offering us their services to
Yeah.
us. We accepted their services, and maybe it should have been made clear that night, and I apologize if I didn't. Any expenses incurred are our expenses.
Oh, okay,
They're just
So-
good enough to give us
all
labor.
right, based on that, let me get hold of the Sullivans and have another little talk with
Yeah.
them and stuff. And because the thoughts were trying to maybe salvage the plexiglass, clean it up.
Nah, I don't think you can.
Well, I don't know if they
Plexiglass is
could or you
almost
couldn't.
impossible.
Yeah.
Just advise them, work it out with
Keep,
you as far as
keep track of their expenses and
Yeah.
then they can
Yeah.
just turn it
Okay.
on when they get done.
or if they
So-
need in advance.
Or-
or-
Yeah, or if they,
And that's the way I left it with them. Like I said, it was a repair, replace situation,
Mhm.
thinking that they would foot the bill.
No,
That's that's an Eagle Scout type of thing. That's what
Yeah.
we're dealing with Boy Scouts. Then they have to.
yeah,
go
so
out
get
and
back
work
to them and
on it.
then, yeah, you can be the point man. They wouldn't have to come back to us and
No.
maybe when they're done, they
Yeah.
could come back.
Come back in and we'll gladly
And if they
recognize
need
them.
a supplies ongoing, you
Yeah.
tell them just to get a hold
Okay,
of me.
so I'll get hold of them and
Good.
Yeah.
have another conversation with them and
Right,
see
please. Thank you.
what's what.
Thank you.
Because they were working with you too, right, Matt?
Correct, yeah.
And that same kid that he should have, if he's just clearing out brush, yeah, I guess you could work with him, but
Yeah, there's actually there's two kids doing a project in conservation areas together, and then there's a third kid who's doing a project, basically the same thing by himself.
Okay.
So we have three sophomores.
Okay, I only dealt with two.
With the
boys.
two, those are the two guys that are working together.
Yeah. that's
Okay.
fine.
alrighty. Next, duck box donation. We got 4 duck boxes nicely built from Mr. and Mrs. Lau over on Blue Jay Way. I put them in the shed back here. One needs some work on the side. I don't know if we're going to be able to fix that one. Probably put an opening door on that one. But they have opening doors. They're the right size. He built them to standard duck box, and they have the wire inside so the ducks can get out. Very nice. So we have to find some locations for those. I have one over in Grassy Pond that needs to be replaced, and find some places for the other ones. They're taking up a lot of room in there though, so we should probably find homes for them.
They're pretty big.
They are big. They're like, 3 feet high or whatever. Annual meeting is November 2nd in Pembroke. The agenda is not out yet, but keep an eye out for that. I'll send it to you when I see it. It's worth going to that. Anybody's available on a Saturday?
I might go to that.
Okay, I might go to see what kind of things they have. The wetland rules have changed substantially, so I hope they will have a seminar on that.
For the better or?
Just changed.
Just
They've been
changed,
working on it
okay.
for a while.
No, all right.
Draw your own conclusions.
Yeah, all right.
The budget, they need the budget pronto, so,
We got it, haven't we? What's this
now
disaster?
this was
I got?
just what was plugged in from,
Turn it upside down.
Oh, okay. Much better that way.
plugged in from, last year, I guess. And then Troy thought we should put the money back into the property management.
I think we really knew. I mean, we discussed last month when you were not here, we discussed how, I have to say, I give kudos to the highway department for cleaning up around across from the old town hall and clearing up that tree and all that kind of stuff, because as I said at that meeting, if we're not going to start to maintain our property, maybe we need to liquidate it and start to put it all up for sale. And I think it's time, if we can't maintain it.
Well, as long as you brought that up, I'll bring up my spiel now, about cost of community services. It's been studied in Rockingham, Hillsborough County, cost of community services. Raw land doesn't cost you anything.
Mhm.
Um,
But if it looks like hell, there's
I mean,
no
we
sense in
have
keeping
land
it.
out in the back that, every land doesn't need to have,
Well, anything facing the main road has
The
to
main-
be presentable. If it's
right,
not presentable, liquidate it.
the main road, right, but the backwoods doesn't have to have,
No, I agree with that. Anything out in the woods, but anything that's on the main road like that, I was ashamed of that piece across from it's.
across from
we had-
town hall.
We had one
Old
person
Town
that
Hall?
used to do that for years, and then
Oh,
things
yeah.
happen.
Yeah.
The piece of land now, right by the library, that's a disgrace. That piece
Well, it
that
needs to
Kevin all
be
used to
trimmed,
do that,
needs to be trimmed back.
the trees need to be cut back. The grass needs to be cut like Kevin used to cut that grass every
Right.
time on his way down. That piece of land, the library should pick that up as part of their aesthetics
should.
of their property.
Across from the library.
No,
across
next
the-
to
Next,
I
north
just-
of,
the library,
north,
yeah.
north of the library.
Kevin used to cut that strip all the way along the grass, and then the Boy Scouts one time took a project and they cut it back because they needed some poles to build a igloo or something. But we didn't let them cut back too far because we didn't want that ugly elevator behind the library to show up. So we had them cut to a certain point and that was it. But now that's all been lost. The idea was to get the aesthetics of the beauty of the library to show up, and that's all gone now. Looks like,
I'll
looks,
see who I can
looks like
find to
heck.
do that.
That was my objective when I made those comments, and I stand by those comments. And I realize the backwoods, that's backwoods, but when you get anything on the main road, it needs
Yeah,
to
the
be.
piece across from Old Town Hall should be kept open so you can see the river. I agree.
Mhm.
And the piece there needs to be cut back.
Yeah.
So we should go back up to 2,500 for property management,
2,500 was what we had in, was that 2017,
2018.
2018?
Yeah, 2018.
I just want to take a look at it.
Sure.
See, I know I should have
And
printed.
this is what they had cut out last year.
You need magnifying glasses to read it, though.
And then,
And he's-
as far as power equipment, the acting road agent said they have a lot of power equipment and that they should probably be
Who's
putting it in
they?
their budget. The road agent.
The highway department gave us a few hand clippers. Things like that. We have a chainsaw, steel chainsaw, which is now running. The pole saw randomly started working again.
Now, the chainsaw belongs to the Conservation Commission?
It was donated to us last month.
We had one
We had one
originally,
somewhere. I
but
know whatever happened to
we
it.
don't know where it went.
We still have the machine, right? The
Yeah,
the
that's,
DR.
The DR
And,
mower, yeah, that's that should
Jason's
be.
fixing the trailer.
Yep. I spoke with him this past weekend and he said he was going to try and get the wiring harness back working because that thing currently has no taillights to speak of. The wires are severed.
Oh.
So it's,
Probably sitting outside.
yeah, it's,
It's in town. What difference it making?
yeah.
That's what I thought too.
Not up to Manchester, Boston, Michigan.
Yeah, okay, well.
So seminars and annual meeting, I think, I don't know if we went over on that. So, all right, so we put property management back up to 2,500.
Mhm.
And, oh, that was what it was. Keep the dues and subscriptions the same. Unless we went over, and then I think we went over.
Why am I reading it says 2020 on here already? What am I
I
reading?
don't know, like, I think they just plugged the numbers in.
It looks like they already
It's-
slashed it and dashed it. and
No.
Customized it.
Made it into an
Oh, and I
arugula
met with
salad.
That's what it is.
I met with the Recreation Commission today. They're considering, maybe not this year, the following year, reinstituting the fishing derby.
Oh.
So I gave them all how, those,
Hmm.
what he has to do, but state permits, et cetera.
Mhm. Very good.
They may do it.
Not this year.
Not
He
this
doesn't
year,
know if
this
he has time to get it in this year or not. Budget. So anything else you want to add? I think that would be
No,
good.
that'd be my main concern is to get the money to do the maintenance.
Yeah.
Do we have money for signs?
Right now we do.
Yeah, that's a good point. I think we
Oh, yeah.
should
And you were
probably
supposed
get
to bunch of, what all the signs you were supposed to get?
I have he just sent me the numbers today,
Who's that?
Marshall Sign.
Oh. So just.
Well, we should take that out of this year's
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
property management.
Mhm. If we go in the red, we go in the
So
red.
speaking of
Buy
signs,
'em.
so the signs down at Hudson, that had all this information they went down and measured them, 38 by 38 inches.
Mhm.
Kind of big. They'd be $130 each.
So basically, I don't care what the cost is, just
Now, if we
the
went with
placement, you know.
24 by 30 and put them on by the kiosk, not on a pole, because he suggests if we put them on a pole, if they were, let's see, prices on it. If you plan on mounting them on a post, I would recommend using heavier 0.80 gauge aluminum. They'd be $145 each. Pricing for a smaller version of the same size, 24 inches by 30 inches, would be $85 for 0.40 aluminum and $98 for 0.80 aluminum, 24 inches by 30.
I would say go with the $98 one and get a half a dozen of them. And that would be my personal feelings.
Well,
If we,
we put Morse Falls and Parker Park, and where else? I don't think we need
Street, Steve
Birch Street.
Crossing. that's another thing related to kind of like the land management is that I remember we had kind of tossed around the idea of putting in some trails at a couple small properties that we have. One of which is right across is on not 3A, Albuquerque by
Albuquerque.
Page. What's the name of that property?
Blue Jay.
Blue Jay?
Not
No.
Blue
Across from
Jay.
Blue Jay. Across
No,
from
no,
Blue Jay.
across from
Back to
Blue,
Milligan's.
Blackbird.
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 Some kind of bird.
On
That needs to be
Albuquerque
brushed
there.
out.
Yeah, and that's
So-
what perfect timing if we have the volunteers, we have the
Let's see.
sophomores, and we can get all
1, 2, 3,
since
4. So
Walter
if we
Chainsaws
got
and
6.
I've
What'd
got
you
6, I
say?
have a couple in stock. I
Yeah.
mean, bound to come up at some
Yeah.
spot.
So
What
go
about
with
down by, we were talking about St. Francis, but where that area is.
Yeah, even there, going in by
I
St.
think that
Francis,
would be a
good
that'd be
place.
another spot,
Yeah.
right? That's a good point, Mike.
Yeah, the school, St. Francis gave us permission to put signage on that kiosk if we need to.
Mhm.
So sounds like a good idea.
So I think they could
Kiosk.
fit all this on 24 by 30. 24 by 30, because the plan is 24, like the size he had, but just in here 2 minutes ago. That was 24 by 28, the plans, I think. So you probably could fit all this on 24 by 30. We're not gonna put all pets on a leash, right?
No,
No.
Yeah.
no.
Now, do we want hunting in accordance with New Hampshire? Because everything's open to hunting.
Right. Let me see a second, please.
Where do we stand on the on target shooting? I know we kind of said we didn't really want it at Moore's Falls, but I think that kind of leaves it open for the other conservation areas. 'Cause
We
I thought
had, it says no target shooting on there.
right, and but it's like with a multi-use recreation area. I thought no, for all of our conservation areas, that's not permitted. Okay.
But target shooting? Yeah, I think we should not have target shooting.
Okay. Well, I just didn't know if we formally had a rule to say.
No, I think.
I think we can post this as, I mean, we're I can't get the word.
We're not stopping hunting, we're just stopping target shooting. So if people
Right.
hunting in fear at the proper season in the proper location, but the target shooting, I think that we don't need target shooting per se. I mean, they've already experienced it last year. You guys went out and went through some of the stuff on it.
Yeah, and I was just
There is no place in Litchfield on our property that is safe to target.
No,
Okay,
no,
yeah.
no,
Mhm.
you're right.
So,
So that part stays. No motorized vehicles, okay, that, no target shooting, no camping or fires, no littering, no alcoholic beverages. Now, no removal of plants, animals, or other natural resources. I don't think we need that particular line. I mean, I don't picture anyone going digging up a tree.
Well, they dig up lady slippers all the time.
You'd be
Yes,
surprised.
I
I
don't,
think the danger would be not removal, but people would bring animals in.
I don't think I personally don't think we need that line. Clean up after your dog, yes, please. All pets must be on a leash. Yes, definitely.
Why, I thought we didn't want all pets on a leash.
They have to be, in respect to the other people. I mean,
Because I can't remember where we left that discussion off. Because I remember
We kind of, yeah, we did, you had a kind of.
that was an interesting. That was a long.
To be continued.
They have to be, in state law, they have to be under control.
yeah, that doesn't work. I mean, you get these folks
Well,
with
I
these
met some
over-aggressive
people
dogs,
the other day who had 2 big dogs and a little dog. And
and they hate the little one.
he got a hold of the big dogs and let me pass.
Mhm.
No, the little one had a coyote vest on, I'll tell you. It was cool.
Well, the interesting, I mean, especially if you have hunters, some
yeah.
hunting dogs, unless you made an exception during hunting season, but
And
Well,
then they have
I don't
the
I
dog
don't think it-
whisperer down there with her 5 gigantic dogs that she's got them off the leash.
Who's this?
With a hunting dog,
Diane.
No, no, we don't need them. You don't need them.
you would have them off a leash. The hunting dog would 99% of the time would be hunting for birds, for pheasant.
Right.
There's no more pheasant in Litchfield. They don't allow them to stock them.
They
We've had
don't?
too much, no, we have too many problems shooting over the farmers and stuff.
Yeah.
They haven't put
Well,
pheasants in this town
bottom
for
line-
25 years.
Is a hunting dog is used for bird hunting, okay?
Right.
A raccoon hunting, but nobody does that anymore. And that's
So,
at night.
so
unless
he
you
would
use
have to
your
be
gun.
loose if he's bird hunting.
Yeah.
Pardon?
He would have to be loose if he's
Yeah.
bird hunting.
But outside of that,
But there's
my
no-
feeling is that if you're gonna go walking down our trails for recreation purposes, I feel the dog has to be leashed.
Definitely. You don't want people accosted by dogs. I mean, and I love dogs.
There's
I've had
another
many,
problem
but
too, is that a lot of the dogs, or some of the dogs, unfortunately, we have a lot of deer in Litchfield, and you say, so what?
Because they
But the minute the dog picks up the scent and starts, he's off, okay?
She's
And,
almost shoot him. The dog.
and unfortunately, now it's against the law to the only person that could shoot a dog chasing deer is a conservation
Fishing game,
officer.
fishing game.
Yeah.
That's what
Or
you
a
said.
And they will.
policeman.
Yeah. Mhm.
So
All right, so,
putting a dog on the leash, I think is,
all right, so we'll keep that fish on the leash
Mhm.
and take out no removal of plants,
Right.
animals.
Yeah. Just to give them
Just to
more
get
space. So they
space,
get a little
yeah.
more space in there.
Do you agree with that?
what, take out removal of
Yeah. Right.
plants.
Yeah. I mean, that's,
Because we're gonna go with 24 by 30, you need a
Yeah.
little more
needs a little more
space.
space.
I mean, if someone wants to take that fallen tree.
Yeah, we'll let them take that one. That's right, please.
No, yeah.
Bring a crane down.
I'd be pretty impressed if we could do that.
Okay. And, you know, right, the sign is gonna be up there, but, I mean, we're not gonna be there enforcing it, so.
No.
But at
But
least
again,
it's there.
as you said earlier, people just ignore the signs. And they're
Well-
probably gonna ignore these too, but at least if we show them up and get good
But
sized signs.
if, like, say I get off and go for a walk down to Moore's Falls, I'm on the Conservation Commission, and I see somebody running around with his dog loose, because that's there, now I have the right to talk to them.
Well, I go down there all the time
When-
with, go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say, like when I encountered people like coming down the closed trail when I was cleaning up, I told them who I was and I said this is why it's closed. And I know it's you never know who you're going to be talking to out
Right,
there,
right.
but every interaction I've had was very polite and if, everyone was very respectful.
Well, I know, but the fact that it's also in the sign, you can say to them,
You have a
you
problem reading?
really shouldn't do that, please don't do it,
Yeah, just
but be
But
aware.
I think you're right. I go down there all the
Yeah.
time with my small dog, and I get really nervous when I see people with big dogs because I
Right.
don't know what's going to happen.
Well,
They come charging at me.
Lunch.
Yeah, lunch is right.
No, I think we're settled on that. I think we're all set there.
I was down there a couple weeks ago, and I ran into, I think it was a weekend, and I ran into a guy from Natticook, and he had these two little girls with him, and he was coming back down the trolley track, and he was looking for the falls. So I gave him the mini tour of. It was fun. I gave him the mini tour along the river and showed him where the falls, the little falls
Mhm.
are. And he had never been down there in 10 years, so it was good to see
nice.
people down there.
It is nice.
yeah, I'd like to probably get some tours going again.
Yeah.
We didn't get too many people for the one at Morris Falls, but the one at Parker Park was like I was surprised at how many people showed up for that one.
Yeah, that's good.
It'd be worth doing that again this year.
So I gave Matt a thing about when I was cleaning, a guide to designing your own field. walk.
The virtual discussion we had with, was it Snowdrop or over by,
Say it again. The what
What?
discussion?
Who? What?
where we I guess the people complain because they walk through their backyard. to
Oh,
the-
no, yeah, behind the library.
Oh,
Yeah.
stage
Oh, that's-
crossing.
yeah, that's stage
Oh,
crossing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We
that's,
still haven't resolved
That's
that
nothing. That's
problem.
just, that's sleeping. Don't kick it.
Yeah, it's
if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Don't kick it.
yeah,
Don't kick it. We'll face that someday
yeah, we will.
in
Going
court.
down the easement with an air horn. I can do this. You can't stop me.
We did the budget. Okay, Campbell Drive, I had 2 letters from Tammy Law about this green stuff in a pool at the end of Campbell Drive. It backs
Some
up
swimming
to-
pool, you mean?
No,
In the pool. It's everywhere.
vernal pool.
They're everywhere.
That green stuff?
They're green everywhere. mean,
I thought it was duckweed, so I
No,
went
I've
down,
seen,
it
I've seen
wasn't
it.
duckweed.
So it's a fungus. It's on every piece of water around now. Any
So
still
I sent, I
water.
took a picture and sent it to Cooperative Extension. So I thought it maybe was fertilizer runoff because,
No. No, it's everywhere.
and then I went out again. It's less water, but it's still there.
Oh, yeah, yeah. It's
Is
a
it kind of like
fungus.
a,
Fungus. It's floating. It's a floating fungus on top of
It's
the
not
water.
that blue-green algae
No,
stuff.
it could be. I don't know. It probably is. It's definitely
no,
green.
but I
It's
think
nasty.
I think it is caused by fertilizer.
No, I don't think so. It's everywhere.
Well, the-
There's not even any fertilizer anywhere near these places we're talking
The
about.
one at Campbell Drive, there is, that's why, and the guy had just put in a lawn like the last couple of years and
Mhm,
it slopes that way, so she says she's never seen it in 25 years, but you're saying.
I've
it's
never
all
seen it either.
over?
It's all over the place. You start looking around, we see small puddled areas and you'll see it's all turned green.
Hmm.
Yeah, Nashville, Hudson, everywhere you go. Londonderry, all over Londonderry. Oh my, it's all over there.
Hmm.
It's a fungus. It's just, yeah. Sue thought it was like
So I
pollen
sent her
coming
a
out of the
letter,
trees.
I sent Tammy back a letter and told her I looked at it and I sent the picture to Cooperative. And I told her the fence that she put up a number of years ago is like all down. And I'm afraid like turtles are gonna get stuck in it. And I asked her to remove it, but I doubt that.
At least you asked. Hmm?
Yeah, so it's on record. Next meeting's October 3rd. We don't have a rainfall report. And we don't have the minutes because Andrew's not here.
We don't have
Oh,
turtle crossing signs, do we?
She used to.
Used to?
Roger,
I've
Roland
told her
puts them up.
Oh, really?
Because
I know-
Turtle crossings.
Albuquerque, somebody called one, the wildlife sign back up, so I talked to the road agent today. He's gonna get me wildlife sign
Oh,
for
good.
Albuquerque. Who knows how long it'll last, but.
What was that drive? And they cut in down
Be
by Kurt,
careful with turtles.
down by Kurt West House and Roland put up a sign.
Well, I
on
know
the
in
culvert.
Massachusetts, there's a lot of
John's Turtle
towns that
Crossing.
have turtle
I
crossing.
never saw the sign.
You didn't? They showed me
No.
pictures of that. Yeah, yeah,
He used to tell developers, yeah, watch out for the
Watch out
turtle
for-
lady.
yeah. She's got them raising in her cellar. Okay, what else we got?
Jason Brennan wants to make a map of, Morris Falls. And I guess Andrew had a map.
Yeah, he did. He made one, and I put it up on our conservation Facebook page. It looks great. It was really well
It's
done.
on the page.
Yeah, he did a spectacular job making all the maps he did. He went to like the state forest, Morris Falls.
It's on the Litchfield page, Litchfield
Uh,
Conservation page.
Yes.
Because I asked Anders to send it, but he's probably pretty busy on the page. So I'll look for it. Okay. Get it to Jason. And Jason can have it made up. I think he still has some calendar money and get it posted there would be good.
What's this? What cost of what?
Cost of community services. I already did my spiel on cost of community services.
There was something, the other night, there was a discussion at the Board of, someone came in from the Board of Selectmen meeting and was talking about Chase Brook. And there's some beavers.
Oh, okay. The guy on Chase Brook, Continental went and got the beavers, had plugged the culvert under Chase Brook Drive or whatever drive that is there,
Chase Brook
Pilgrim
Circle.
Road.
Yep.
They got that out. Well, the guy that lives downstream, one house from the crossing, wants to put a dam and take water out.
Yeah.
And I hope the selectman said no,
Okay.
because first of all, you need state permit to do a dam.
Right.
And
But he was talking about the culvert had been clogged up by beavers or something.
yeah,
I didn't know.
and
And
Continental
then they moved up. I mean, I don't know, upstream or something. I don't know.
Continental cleaned that because people on Chase Brook Circle were losing their backyard because, of course, the water is backing up.
Mhm.
So I think that's what the selectmen saying about that. Do you
Well, I have
know?
no idea. I mean, I think he just brought it to their attention. I don't know what's happening.
Trouble is that you gotta trap them and you gotta get them out of there and just rip it as fast as you rip it down.
They can put a new one up. Mm.
Yeah, they put a new one up.
No, we had a constant engineering feat with the beavers down at Morris Falls till somebody got them out of there. We had a beaver, it was working pretty well. We had a beaver box in the dam. But if they can hear water running, they'll
They'll
try
fix
and
it.
fix it.
Yeah, they went to MIT. They're all MIT graduates.
Right.
Engineering degree.
They did. So that's all I have for this evening. Anybody got anything else?
Make a motion to adjourn?
I second that motion.
All in
Did you-
favor? Anybody?
Approval of minutes? Did you do minutes?
I don't have them.
Oh, you didn't have any
He was
minutes?
not
Okay.
here.
All right, I'm sorry.
They're in
I saw it on-
They're in purgatory.
Oh, okay.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Oh, we didn't raise our hands. Okay. We are.
Can we put a hand down now?
Well, it's funny.
Adjourned.
We have to keep our hand up till he shuts the camera off.
8:04.
Never sure now.